Hi guys, in this motivational session, I'm going to give us a key phrase which we can use to make 2023 a more successful year. Now, this key phrase is found in the word habitual excellence. Now, what do I mean by habitual excellence? I'm talking about we becoming more excellent in various ways that will guide us to achieve greater success. Now, for us to understand this and how we can apply it to 2023 so that we get a more successful year, I'm going to read out the wise quote by Aristotle. Now, there's a short form and there's a long form to this, but I'm going to read out the long form, then I'll clean out the short one. It says, commitment to excellence. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellency then is not an act, but a habit. Now, there are two words I want us to take note of here. First is excellency is an art won by training and habituation. Now, second, we say we are what we repeatedly do. Excellency then is not an act, but a habit. Now, how does this relate to 2023? Yes, the world has moved on. The world has evolved. Every day we enter into a new phase of the world. And there are a lot of things we have learned about life. Now, the supreme task of we humans or our leadership responsibility is to translate our knowledge into right action. So, we all desire success in our careers, in our endeavors, and in everything we do. So, for us to achieve that success, there are certain keys that we need to apply. And one of them is excellence. We have to be excellent in the things we do. And excellency, like Aristotle said, is not an act. An act is something you do once. And when you do it once, you expect a grandiose result. But life doesn't work that way, because if you desire success in any field, in anything you're doing, you have to do repeatedly for you to gain that mastery over that thing, so you can function at a superlative degree in that thing. Now, we are all excellent. You are excellent because if you look at your life, there is something you do exceedingly fine. It could be something as simple as making people laugh. It could be something as simple as being there for other people. It could be something that you don't find in your report card, in your scoreboard, in your employment assessment, or in any other field or in any other endeavor you don't find, but it's something that you know you have. It's a quality in you. It could just be that you're a good leader, you're a team player, you're very good at organizing people. It could as well be that you're the one that when somebody is let down by everybody, they come to you. It could just be that you're that type that when people find themselves in great difficulty, you're one person that they can trust to come to and share their problems. Now, it's a virtue. So, if we look at it from the perspective of excellence, you are excellent there. So what I need you to do now is to accept the fact first. Accept it that you are excellent in this area. Now, if you have not discovered this, then you may have a little homework to do. That homework is that you take a pen and paper, sit down and analyze your life. Analyze those areas you know you have some strength. You can ask a couple of associates or friends or people that are close to you. Ask them what they think, that the quality they think that you are good in, or that you do it so nice that it flows out of you, it's part of you. They could list 1, they could list 2, they could list 10. It doesn't matter, even if it's 1. What it means to us is that you are excellent somewhere. Now, the first step is to acknowledge that you're excellent. The next step is to be grateful for it. Because, like the Holy Writ says, those who have little, the little they have will be taken away from them. So you have to be grateful for having this quality, because something I've come to discover about people who are exceedingly great in one or two things, it could be qualities or skills, is that we tend to neglect those things. We say it like, it's just part of it. We downplay it because it's so easy to us. So we think it's easy for everybody out there. But what we fail to realize is that what comes to us naturally, some people pay for it, go for seminars, go for workshops, go for things, go for trainings, and yet they can't have it. Okay? So be grateful for where you are excellent in. When you discover it, be grateful for it. Give thanks to God, higher power, or however you choose to address it. The name is not important, but the important thing is that you're grateful. When you're grateful, you accept it. Then the next step, which is what you should do in 2023, is to reproduce this excellency in another field or in another quality or in another skill. First, you need to identify what you want. What I mean by what you want is, what do you do as a person? You work in a company, you're creative, you're an entrepreneur, or you're self-employed. Certainly, there are skills that every profession needs to grow. There are skill sets, there are the qualities that you need. Now, nobody is perfect. Sometimes, there's a saying that our vices break us faster than our virtues make us, because it's actually easier to destroy than to build. You can have 1,001 good qualities, but you just have one bad attitude that can spoil the whole thing. So, what you need to do for 2023 is what I call perpetual self-development. Or if you put it this way, habitual excellence. Habitual excellence. You need to realize that you need to take into consideration that this quality, I need to develop it. It could be something as simple as learning how to harmonize with everybody. Lately I came to realize something, and I've been putting into practice. Like the places I go to do business, the people I meet. Sometimes if I don't see you like someone I'll be having contact with all the time, I tend not to pay too much attention to you. But lately I just learned something. I said, no, everybody deserves some special moments. So when I go to somewhere, even if it's an office and I'm sitting waiting for somebody, I try to pick up a conversation with the person there, maybe other people waiting for people there, or the secretary there, or anybody I see around. I pick up a good conversation with you, or I try to harmonize or to bond with you, because I found that it clears the air, or it makes things easier for you. It kind of connects you at a level that you may not understand, because every human being has a virtue and everybody stands for something. When you interact with people, even if it's for 5 minutes, even if it's for 1 minute, you learn valuable lessons. So I've learned how to bond with people, and honestly, it has been very good for me. Now, how did I learn this? I have this friend, he's in Lagos now, and once there was a time we wanted to organize a program, or we wanted to organize a competition, a basketball competition. So Luther, his name is Luther, my friend, he was now talking about when they went for a competition somewhere in Lagos or thereabouts. Then he was still in Port Harcourt. So when they got there were several teams. But he said their coach the first thing their coach did when they got to Lagos was, as soon as they lodged in their hotel room, he called all of them. Since they were made up of people from different backgrounds and people from different schools, because then he was in secondary school, the coach called all of them and said, you guys should sit down and just talk, play. So while the other coaches were lecturing their people, trying to put them in shape, talking to them on several things, lecturing them how to behave, how to coordinate themselves and all that, this coach just said, you guys should just play. They all played together. When they played together, at the end of the day, he called them together and said, let's sit down and gist again. They started gisting. Now he started pointing out the good qualities in each of them to all of them. At the end of the day, he said they bonded so much that though they didn't win the competition, but they were the best team. And they bonded right there in their hotel room. So when he told me that thing, he told me that this thing years ago, over 5 or 6 years now. I've always contemplated this thing, but I've never really practiced it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm actually this kind of a nice gentleman. I'm nice to people, and even if it's the bus conductor, even if it's the person that sells to me, the service provider that sells something to me at the shop, I'm nice to them. But I'm taking it a step further by bonding. Sometimes I ask people, how's your day? How, a lot of things just to bond. So there are skills that you need to learn and become excellent in. When you learn them and practice them, when you develop them, when you grow them, when you improve on them on a daily basis, there are 365 days in a year, and 2023 has 365 days. On a daily basis, if you remind yourself that you are going to improve on one skill, you can choose one a week, you can choose one a month, but choose something and develop yourself on it. Now, development starts with your intellectual knowledge. So you do research, because sometimes you may say, where do I start from? I know nothing on this field, or I know nothing about this thing. I can't afford to go for trainings. I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to do that. Maybe you don't have the finance. But the truth is, if you go to YouTube, any video you're looking for on this planet, you'll see any topic you're looking for on this planet, you see a lot of videos on YouTube. And there are so many other platforms. You have TikTok today, we have LinkedIn, and we have some social medias that you will go and you see some rich videos. So start from there. Start by empowering yourself at the intellectual level, so you understand one or two things about this particular thing you want to learn. It could be that in your office, you need to learn how to keep record. Yes, it's a very simple thing, but this alone can ruin a company. It could be that you need to learn how to interface with your customers. It could be that you need to develop the organizational behavior. It could be that you need to straighten out things. Maybe in your company, you guys have all been avoiding the difficult conversation. Now, it starts with you learning how to embrace difficult conversations and hold them, how to seek out for them, how to start them. There's a lot of learning that needs to be done. So do your research. You read articles. Google is there for you. Google any article and you find over 1 million pages of whatever thing you want to find. So, but the key is habitual excellence in 2023. Take it in as a keyword. Take it in as a reminder, a motivational reminder. Take it in as something that should be part of you. Now, but the most important thing is that you need to believe that you can do it. You need to believe that you can improve on yourself, then make that decision. When you believe it, you make the decision. Because sometimes I've also come to realize that a lot of us stop learning at a particular stage in our lives. Like some of us, after school, we choose not to learn anything again because maybe we believe that we've known it all. For some of us, is when we start work, we stop learning. For some of us, is when we get married, we stop learning. For me, I'm also guilty of that because I think since I left secondary school, I have not been regular with dates. Most times I just know today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But when it comes to the date, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, 10th, I don't know that. It's just about 2 years ago, this year, this 2022, that I started trying to know the dates. As a result of most times events that come around that I have to know the date and things. So I now know the date. I'm now learning it again. Because I know that throughout my days in secondary school, I know the date of every day. Because before you write in class, you have to know the day. You have to put down the date. So actually, I stopped learning dates after my secondary school. Though now I'm learning it again. Okay, so sometimes in life we stop learning certain things because we think that they are no longer necessary. Okay, so basically we need to come out of that and choose to learn, because a wise man maketh learning his virtue. Okay, so choose to develop yourself. Habitual excellence. You are excellent. All you need to do is to superimpose that skill from one place to another. And since you're able to successfully do it somewhere unconsciously, you can also reproduce it somewhere else. Okay? So, work yourself out. Improve on yourself. Improve on your excellency by that repetition. So you build the habit. There's a saying that successful people do daily what failures do occasionally. It's just like when we were in school. You find that there are certain students who read regularly. Though sometimes there are those of us who don't need to read regularly, but they read. It may not be on daily basis, but they read. They have times which they read. Now, when you read regularly, you will understand your academic work, and chances are you'll come out with good grades. But if you're that kind of student that waits till exam for you to go and force everything down your throat, you find that you will not perform very well. There have been cases where students in exam, in WAEC and JAMB, for those of us listening to this outside Nigeria, West Africa, WAEC and JAMB is like SAT, TOEFL, and some of those A-level or O-level certifications. Now, in WAEC and JAMB, there have been people who could not even spell is, them in exams. There have been people who have copied other people's name and registration number on their own answer sheet. Why? I can't answer that question, but I said the point is, in life, you have to be bold. You have to look within you. You have to accept the truth, and you have to move forward. Let 2023 be the beginning of your success. Because yes, everybody wants a greater new year. Some people have made resolutions. I, for one, have stopped making resolutions for over 15, 20 years because most times you find out that you make resolutions, you write it down. Sometimes you place it somewhere where you see it. But even though it's somewhere where you should see it every day, but by 10th of January, you've forgotten your resolutions. Maybe sometime in March, you now remember, I made a resolution. You now go and pick up your resolution paper and read it again, then it comes into your head again. But after then, it's gone again. So a lot of people have made resolutions. We make resolutions because we want to become better. Okay? Yes, but the truth is 2023 is still going to be troublesome or tumultuous or disastrous for a lot of people. Why? Because the economy, the global economy is heading is plunging into an abyss. For those of us that are following the news, I believe we know what's happening. Even the cryptocurrency has fallen, and banks are failing. In fact, just today, 27th or 28th of December 2022, I saw a video on TikTok that said HSBC is going to close about 120 branches or 200 branches. Now, this is disaster. Okay, now the world is coming to a place where difficulty will arise for a lot of us. Even in Africa, the war in Ukraine and Russia has affected a lot of things down here. It's causing inflation, it's causing problem, it's causing a lot of uncomfortable things. That today we in Nigeria who are producing oil, we have all the oil, and yet we're buying 1 liter of fuel for 300 naira right now. All tied to the war in Ukraine and subsidy and no subsidy BS. Okay, so the point is 2023 is going to be troublesome for a lot of people. Why? Because those who are not ready, those who are not willing to grow, will find themselves in a hole that they may never come out of. But those who are willing to learn, to improve on themselves, to grow, to become better, to create opportunity, to become creative, to look into themselves and see what they can offer to humanity, those people are going to be super successful. And when I say successful, I'm not talking about acquiring money. No. Success has to do with impacting on life, impacting on humanity from the wealth of abundance or the wealth of knowledge within you. Now, when you impact on humanity, money follows you. Okay? So, the aim is not to acquire money, because what shall it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? What is your soul? Your soul is the function for which you were born. So our greatest responsibility is to blossom our inside and become better than who we are. So you are excellent, and you can always superimpose that excellence, or you can take that same method with which you achieve excellence in one field and put it in another area and improve your life. And 2023 will be super successful for you. It will be super successful because you will add value to life, and you will have that satisfaction that comes from a well-lived or a fulfilling life. So, build your 2023, add value to humanity, improve on yourself via habitual excellence. And let 2024 be your springboard to success. Some people say the sky is your limit. I don't like to say the sky is your limit, because as a person, I wanted to be an astronaut. If I was living in America or Europe or developed countries, I would have been an astronaut. But I'm living in Nigeria. There's no except I can't be an astronaut from here. So I actually abandoned that dream. Now, but the point is, astronauts, the sky is not their limit. The sky is their springboard to success, because where they are going is space. So the sky is not your limit, and the sky cannot be your limit. Rather, the sky will be your springboard to success. Let 2023 be your springboard to success. You can download this video, or you download it as a podcast or something, or an MP3. Always listen to it again, and always remind yourself that throughout 2023, your keyword is perpetual self-development. Perpetual self-development via habitual excellence. Develop yourself, develop that habit, the habit of excellence, where you improve on yourself and improve in life. And 2023 will be great. I believe in 2023. I believe in you. I believe in humanity. And I believe that when we bring out our best, the world will become a better place. Thank you for listening.